The next one is Swadhyaya. What does Swadhyaya mean? All of you know.
Study spiritual books.
Study of spiritual books, like we've been doing this morning, right? Just a little here, a little there. Even a little will elevate your mind. So every day, read something that elevates your mind. And if you don't have time for this spiritual book, Bev made all these lovely little sayings. Thank you so much for doing that. And I think all the rooms have it. There's more, I think she has. Do you have more?
There are some more. I'm not sure how many are left now.
I think there's some in my room. I don't know how they got there.
In the bag, brown bag.
No, not in the brown bag. Oh, maybe it was a gift. Who knows? Well, I have some extra. Or make your own things and stick it on the walls like I do. And that spiritual study is just a reminder. In my early days, I keep saying this all the time, but really, I tell you, it works. Sometimes you really cannot control the mind. The yogis say it's like a monkey, drunken monkey, stung by a scorpion and possessed by demons. And I think we all know that feeling. And you really cannot control it. So these are the times Swadhyaya is your best friend of all, because you don't have a friend, you don't have anybody there, nobody understands you. Take Swadhyaya, take a spiritual book, take one sentence. I used to do that. I used to carry little books with positive sayings that I liked. Actually, in my own notebook, I wrote down things, and I was working in a shop in those days when I was practicing, and I was in a place where I didn't like much in my life because I didn't know what I did have. I only could see what I didn't have, which was a horrible place to be. And so I knew with the science of yoga I had to change all that. And I knew I wasn't strong enough yet. So my practice was for 5 years before I even started to teach. I just used Swadhyaya all the time. I carried little books with me in my handbag. And when I used to get angry when the customer was rude, and my instinct was, I'd go into the loo, shut myself, take my little book, take a deep breath, and just read 1 or 2 sentences. Always worked. It always worked. And Swadhyaya, I didn't realize the power of it. Because sometimes you really, and you will notice that day what you need to hear will be the page you picked up, or the sentence that you decided to write, or the book you picked up would give you the message that you need. And you go, and then what happens from that is like, wow, universe, you're so smart. You know exactly what I need. And with that, faith develops. Because every time you need something, it's given to you. When it comes from a sincere place. What is the sincere place? A selfless place. What is a selfless place? A place where you want to be better, to be a great instrument for the world. Not that you want to be better so you can gather more money. Well, money is great, but you'll gather it anyway. You're already abundant. Or you want fame, and you want people to love you. You want people to think you're a guru, or want people to think you're better than everybody else. Please don't go down that road. What a waste of energy and what a waste of time. Remember, humility is the key. We all have the guru within us. Master said to us when he came to Gibraltar, we were all leaving him at the airport and we were all crying. And I never forget his face. He said, use me as long as you like as a crutch. As long as you need me, I am here for you. But once you've learned the knowledge, find the guru within you. And I love that he said that. And many times he said, people call me guru, but I'm still a student. He said, people call me guru. He said to me one time, he said, Nalanie, you think sometimes I like all these flowers around me and all these garlands? He goes, I allow them to do it because it makes them happy. It makes them happy. So I receive it in that love. I receive it in that love. Because it makes people so happy. And once when we were on a Bali retreat, he was 83 or 84 and he was walking with a stick, right? And everybody wanted to help him to get up on stage. And this went on for the 7 days. And on the 8th day, suddenly somebody was helping him out of ego. He just knew. She wanted to be important. I'm the one taking the guru to the stage. So she said, oh, Gurudev, and making a big fuss of it, right? And suddenly he pushed her aside, dropped the stick, and the stage was this high. He He jumped up. And the whole room laughed. We got the teaching. We got the teaching, all of us, just by that action, you know. And his thought was always to teach in everything he did. And everything, you know, was to teach us what to learn, humility, confidence. And when people were really loving, he'd let them look after him, you know. So this was what I learned from my master. And Swadhyaya is really, really, really important. And these sayings that he writes are brilliant, and many brilliant people in the world. Now I can see there's so many brilliant writers. Some of my students, they come with incredible poem. Huh? Look at Nadia, one of the young ones we have, new student. And you know, some of the work that she comes up, she just receives. Some of the poetry is so incredibly beautiful. So I told her, make a book and share it with us. You know, this is your gift. Automatic writing is her gift. All the knowledge is there in that. She just writes, it just comes, you know. Wow. And then she knows she still has to work on herself. So as she's working on herself, her channel's becoming purer and purer. And the material's coming out more and more beautiful. It's really lovely to watch how the divine energy works through everyone when they're really wanting it. So, Swadhyaya, use, and if it's your own sayings, use your own sayings, you know. Don't think you're not good enough that you can't receive this information. And look at James in his rap. If you hear the words of his rap and his lyrics, all divine. You know, I always say, you're the one who's going to get through the young people. You're going to teach them through music, through rap. I can do it, but you can do it. They can't relate to me, but they can relate to him. Many of those people out in the streets that lost themselves because they don't believe in God, but they've forgotten they have a spirit. They're so lost, and they're looking. Many of them, I've seen young people go into suicide and drug abuse because they haven't been taught the spirit in this generation. So they've lost contact, so they don't know where to go to find it. So somebody like James can teach them, and through the music, through the rap. You know, we all have a place to be. We really all have a place to be. There's some way we are chosen to be the instrument. Our only responsibility is to be responsible with that energy and that power. To be responsible. To know that why we've got this gift is to serve unconditionally. And in that service of unconditional love, everything we need will be given to us. You don't have to worry. Of course you're going to be put through the test in the mail. Of course. We all have to be put through the test in the mail. That's every spiritual aspirant's journey. You cannot escape that. Because if you're not put through the test and put through the mail, how can you have compassion for somebody else? If you haven't suffered and gone through suffering, how can you understand somebody else's suffering? Not possible, is it? It's only when you've been down to the bottom that you can say, you know, I know what it feels like, and you can transmit that energy to them. It's only because she's been through the darkest despair that she can understand the drug addicts. It's only Melanie's experience with her partner that caused her so much pain. She's still madly in love with him, and all the pain he caused her, that she could walk away and with that sadness start to teach love. Isn't that incredible? That was her healing, rather than that pain that which we all witnessed. And she used that energy of pain to decide, not only now I am going to share this with others, because I can only give love. Otherwise the pain will not go away. Will not go away. It's still there, but it's so gently replaced by the joy of sharing. Do you see? That's why all the greatest masters say, serve, love, give, right? That joy of sharing. Every Wednesday night after I finish, she teaches with Priya, and the emails I get from her, wow, I had such a great evening. Where's the pain? No mention of pain, no mention of abuse, no mention of poor me, all gone. Just, oh, I'm so grateful to the divine that I have this joy of sharing this knowledge when I see people in front of me changing. I'm so grateful. I feel deeply humbled by the presence of the divine in me. I'm sorry, that's her emails to me on a Wednesday night when I get home. I look forward to hearing from her. She's healed herself. She got the right medicine. She understood. She didn't feel sorry for herself. Every friend came to support her because of that. They just all together went and surrounded her with this glow of love. So when you're needed, you will be provided it if you work in the highest good. That's why all the masters say that to us. When you work for the highest good, you don't have to look for support, you will get it. But when you don't work for the highest good, when you work for, oh, I want to be famous, I want to be this, I want to be a guru, who are you kidding? You think you're better than anybody else? We'll all end up in a grave. We're all going to die. We're all going to be burnt or buried. Nobody's better than the other at that point. We're all dust and dirt and ashes. Don't fool ourselves thinking we're better than anybody else. I always say, without you, I wouldn't have a job, would I? We wouldn't be sitting together. So who's the teacher and who's the student? Does it really matter? It's irrelevant. What is important that we all work together in higher knowledge. I thank the Divine for allowing me this information that I can pass on to you. That's all. Instrument. Nothing more. Nothing more. Please don't put me on any pedestals because pedestals fall. Okay? Got it? Don't be disillusioned. Learn to build your own pedestal. Learn to build your own light. That's the work. That's the work of our generation. That's the work. That's why many people asked me, did Sri Swami Satchidananda leave any particular disciple as such? He didn't. He left a president, somebody to run the ashram, but he didn't, like most gurus do, appoint the next guru. He didn't. He didn't say, this is the next guru like most traditions. You know why? He's so wise. Because he knew we needed to shift consciousness to find the guru within. What a wise teacher. Any teacher that would have come under him could not be what he was. Just couldn't. There was a different energy in him. So they would have felt very pressurized to be like him and lived in misery trying to be him. Do you see? So wise. Instead, he left a group of us to work together, laugh together, talk together, each bringing their own expertise. And then together we're a team, and we work well together as a team. It's fun. Anyway, who wants to work on your own? It's so boring. It's so much fun with others. It's so much fun to laugh and to, to share what you learn, and just so much more fun to giggle and talk and do silly things, to be children. I think it's so much fun. We've forgotten to be children. That's a great spiritual learning. So Lord Jesus said, where is the kingdom of heaven? With the children. And how do children work? Adapt, adjust, accommodate. And when we don't want to listen, when they throw tantrums, they have to go in a corner. So it's the same with us. We're still children. We're still children. So keep, Swami Chinmayananda said, do not be childish. Be childlike. I love that. So if you want to dance and have fun, have fun. What's wrong in that? Are you causing pain to anyone? No. Causing harm to anyone? No. So what is wrong? Oh, I'm a spiritual, I have to sit umming all day. Don't come in my energy field. You disturb it. Am I causing harm to someone? Yes. I've just put resistance up. I've just said, I am better than you because I meditate and you don't. So don't come into my field. Have you seen what's happened there? And we get fooled by this. You want to meditate? Choose a time when nobody's going to disturb you. Don't be lazy. Get up at 5. Don't expect everybody to work around you. Work around everybody. When my children were young is when I started. I didn't say to them, 5 o'clock in the morning, my husband, wake, leave me alone. We had a small apartment. I waited till he went, we used to work together. So I asked him if he would mind, was our own business, so I was quite lucky. Would you mind if I took half an hour later to come to work? When he left, I meditated, 9:30. And then when we had holidays, I just went into the bathroom before anybody got up, because we only had one bathroom and all the kids and their friends used to love to stay over. close the door before everybody, put my little temple in the bathroom. Big deal. Adapt, adjust, accommodate. Then the children and people don't think of your meditation as a separation, because that's what's happening now. They think it's a separation. No. And then they want to learn by your example. So are you understanding what we need to learn? It's not a separation. It's a compassion. It's a loving. It's an admittance. I have to admit to yourself, I really haven't achieved it. No big deal. If I don't do it this life, I'll do it the next one. But at least I'm trying. At least I'm doing my best. And then when you go on your deathbed, you can say to yourself, I've done my best. Such a nice way to die. No, I'm not ready to die. I'm not ready to die. So you better start liking yourself today. You better start working today, because if you have to die tomorrow, you can say, I've done my best. You know? It's such a nice feeling to be able to say that. I'm done. If I have an extra day, great. And if I don't, also great, because I'm done. I'm always done. I've always done every day what I do best. Serve, love, get, purify, meditate, realize, be good, do good, be kind, and be compassionate. Right? And if you do that every day, Swadhyaya is done. And then next and last one is Ishvara Pranidhanam, which means? Surrender. Either surrender to the highest consciousness, surrender to God, surrender to spirit, surrender to life, surrender to nature. Doesn't matter what you call it. Surrender. It's a feeling of, I can't control this anymore. I don't have to control this anymore. We can't control anybody or anything. All we can do is ourselves. We can only change ourselves. Please remember that. You can guide people. You can share with them. You can hold their hand. And if they don't want it, you should have the humility to say, I leave you. And leave them in peace. Let them learn in their own time. You know? When my husband was a smoker, heavy smoker, and you know what, Gurudev, I said, Gurudev, my husband is a smoker. And he goes, Nalanie, don't worry. With the knowledge, by itself, he will give it up. And he gave up smoking for the love of my grandchild, because the knowledge in his field was love. He loved the unborn child so much that he went from 60 to 0 in one day. After 40 years of smoking. Of course, it has its effects. That's why he died of cancer. It does. Cause and effect is there. You see, there's no judgment. It's just cause and effect. What you sow, you will reap. That's all. There's no God punishing us. But at least for the last 8 years of his life, he was smoke-free. And when Gurudev gave me the permission to give him time, it's only when I stopped nagging him that he himself chose to let it go. While I was at him and resisted, he got worse and worse and worse and worse. But when I said, you know what? You'll give up in your own time. Going out for dinner? No, I'm not smoking because it upsets your breathing. Oh. And then when he stopped smoking, he was worse than I am. How rude they are to be smoking at the next table. I'm going to take you out. So you've seen that, so protective of me suddenly, It was almost like the smoking gave him a different brain, and when he stopped, he had a different brain. I said, wow, he's so kind, So kind. So he was so worried about me all the time after he stopped. And while he was doing it, because I was on top of him, he was worse. And I learned a lot about letting life work its own way. It has its own way with all of us. We can just tell them the consequences. If you do this, this is going to happen. He admitted in the end, the reason why I wasn't safe is my lungs are too weak. So cancer metastasized. He learned his lesson. He was very, very honest with it. Never lied about it. So, in life, and yet when he stopped smoking, he got all his friends to stop smoking. He got them Alan Carr's book called, I don't know, Alan Carr, you know Alan Carr? He said it's one of the best books for smokers. And he bought copies for all his friends and gave it to all his best friends, and they all stopped smoking. His doctor, his accountant, his lawyer, all of them stopped smoking because he did it. Example, you see? And they're all living. So you have to be the example before people listen. Interesting, isn't it? So, you know, this is what we learn by watching, by being. You cannot learn this in the books. And the letting go is in your own life, not in my life. I can let go for me in my life. I can give you my examples. And then with these examples, you relate it to your own life and what you're holding on to, and what are you letting go? Would you keep going on, the same thing again and again and again? Watch it, you know, because it comes right here. You feel it. Oh, here it comes again. When am I going to be free? That's the surrender. When am I going to be free? And then the prayer, the humility comes in. Please help. I really want to be free from it. No, I really want to be free from it, but one more time. That doesn't work. I really want to be free. And then you get all the help you need. So, and the most important, I've got 5 minutes. Okay, so the most important thing to learn is to know who you really are. Who am I really? Because until you know that so deeply, nothing else, you won't work for anything else. So you have to know who you really are. And I'd like to read to you some slokas from the Gita that explain this. Here Arjuna, the student, is going through a crisis and he's really suffering, so he's asking Krishna, the higher consciousness, what to do. And he says, I do not see any remedy for this deep grief that parches my senses. Even if I were to achieve prosperous and unrivaled royalty here on earth, and even in the heavens, O great king, tell me what to do. And before that, he says, I'd like to read this to you so you know where he's at. He says, I am way down with weak-mindedness. I am confused and cannot understand my duty. I beg of you to say for sure what is right for me to do. I am your disciple. Please teach me, for I have taken refuge in you. The humility, the plea, the self-surrender, Ishvara Pranidhanam. Surrender to that consciousness. Don't you recognize that? When I read that, I thought, oh my God, that was me. You know? That weak-mindedness, that confusion. I don't know what to do. I don't know what is right. I don't know what is wrong. You know, I don't really want to battle with my own family. Why do I have to? Unfortunately, sometimes we have to battle. It's our karma. What can we do? So then he answers him. There was never a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor any of these ruling princes, and neither will there be a time when we will cease to be. In other words, we are all eternal. We are never going to die. It says we. You or I, we were always there and we will always be. And isn't it interesting, the Christian prayer that says, glory be to the Father and to the Son and to the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and forever will be, world without end. Amen. That's exactly what it's saying. The same thing in a different language. So then he continues to tell you what your body is. That which is embodied experiences the body's childhood, youth, and old age. and also in time acquires another body. This does not disturb one whose mind is calm. Know that we all experience this. First we have baby bodies, then we become young adults, and then we become old. Natural progression for every single human being that exists. None of us are exempt. So know this. If you know this truth, if you really know this truth, you will not be disturbed by life. You will not be disturbed by problems. You will not be disturbed by what you have to do. So know that everyone has to go through this. As the senses, you know what your senses are, right? Anybody? What are your senses? Yeah, all the things that draw you out. I smell food. I'm really starving. I can't listen to what she's saying. I need food. You know, these are senses, right? We stop being in the now because the senses draw us out. But the senses are there to be alert and awake in the now and not to draw us away from the now. So when it's time to eat, eat. Oh, that's what you forgot to announce, Bev. You did. Which room for lunch? For silence. Did you announce it? Oh, I was talking to Nalanie, so I didn't hear you. Sorry about the mic. Forgive me. Sorry. See, I wasn't with her. I was with her, so I didn't hear that she announced that. Thank you. She was trying to fix the mic, Matt and Nalanie for me. Thank you. So you see, best example. Yeah? So, says, when the senses contact the objects, feelings of heat and cold, pain and pleasure occur, Arjuna. These sensations come and go. Everything comes and goes. They're impermanent. And my favorite line, patiently endure them. Guess what? You don't have a choice. Patiently endure them. And didn't you all do that last night in the freezing cold? Mm-hmm. Patiently endure them. And then provided a voice that brings warmth in the room. And soon we were all a little warmer. See, the universe will provide what we need. And today provided a sunny day for us. Cold, but sunny. At least this yurt is warm. So, gratitude. You know, it's been so rainy and wet, so sun's come up just to please us. What is not has never been. What is will always be. This truth about the real and the unreal has been realized by the seers. So become a seer. Know this vast universe is pervaded by that which is indestructible. No one can destroy what is everlasting and imperishable. The indwelling one is eternal. The indwelling one is eternal, indestructible, and immeasurable. The bodies of the indwelling one are impermanent. So we are the bodies of the indwelling one. We're impermanent as a body. But what's in us is permanent and will never die. You are never going to die. Isn't that great? Thank God we don't have to live very old in these bodies. And who would want that, to be sick all the time? Isn't it true? Thank God we're given a chance to get a new machine, to experience more beautiful things. So know this truth. Don't fear anything. Don't fill your life with fear. So he goes on to say, it is, I'll finish with this. Yeah, I got one more minute. It is not born and it does not die. Unborn, eternal, and ancient. The self is not killed when the body is killed. Whoever truly knows the self, indestructible, eternal, birthless, and changeless, in what way does this person kill, hurt, or who could be hurt and who could be killed? Nobody dies. Just like casting off worn out clothing and putting on new ones, that which is embodied casts off worn out bodies and enters others that are new. Weapons do not affect the self. Fire does not burn it. Water does not wet it, and wind does not dry it. The self cannot be pierced or cut. So, knowing all this, there is no cause to grieve. Whatever is born will die. Whatever is dead will be born. You should not mourn the inevitable. And that's who we are. And we know this truth deep inside. That's why Master Shivananda says all the time to repeat, I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, immortal self I am. I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, immortal self I am. Right? But the reason why he says that is because we're always focused that we are mortal. So we have to fix that imbalance, right? Oh, what if I die? What if I lose this? What if I lose that? Oh, what if this gets lost? So we cling, cling, cling. But if you keep reminding yourself all the time, yes, I'm also this body and I have to face loss and impermanence. Sooner or later, we all have to, But this is who I really am. And if I'm really like that, everybody I love will be like that, So they're all the same. So my husband is gone, but he's not dead. He's not dead. He's immortal. He's probably flying. He's probably sitting in this room today, And any of you who've lost somebody, they're not dead. They're probably here with you. So, because they follow your energy and your spirit when you talk about the highest knowledge. Many times I've been told this, that all these souls that have not finished, sometimes they've worked, they come and sit with us. So that the next bodies will be embedded with this knowledge. So shall we finish off with that chant? Do you have any chant that says that, Nalanie, that we could finish off with? Okay, maybe that's the next song. Yeah? So we will just chant. Yeah? I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, immortal self I am. I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, immortal self I am. Truth, knowledge, bliss, absolute. In all conditions I am truth, knowledge, bliss, absolute. In all conditions I am knowledge, bliss, absolute. I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, immortal self I am. I'm not this body, I'm not this mind, immortal self I am. Keep doing it all day long. I'm not this body. And then the balance comes in. And then you get the balance of being human and the balance of being spiritual. And when that balance works in your body, and Hatha Yoga, when you have this knowledge and you do your Hatha Yoga and start to experience the Kundalini rising, because you will, when you have the knowledge, things happen quite rapidly. You'll feel the heat down your spine and you'll be so excited. You feel the whirling of the chakras in your body. It's a very exciting feeling. You go, oh my God, I'm really not this body because I can feel this energy. Where did it come from? I understand why they wrote about chakras, because I can feel them in my own body. It's really very exciting. So why would you want to bother with petty-minded stuff when there's so much to learn here? In your own body, so much to experience. I was really very excited when I started to experience my own chakras rising. It's really, oh my God, it's true. Why would I want to get bothered with small stuff? So boring, So what if you hurt me? Or so what if this? Or so what if I lost this? What's more important? Don't disturb my peace and my journey to the divine. That's the most important. Anybody disturbs that, bye, out the door. That's where I'm selfish. That's where I become selfish. Peace absolute.